to the Business Analyst Pandit channel. My name is Ram Prashant Vishwanathan, bringing you the latest industry trends and innovation straight from the minds of the experts. Today, I have Venkatesh on our show, who is the founder of a tech startup company called Impelox Tech Private Limited. Welcome to the show, Venkatesh.
Hi, Ram. How are you? Nice to meet you.
I'm doing well, Venkatesh. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure is mine. So, Venkatesh, before we delve into the tech insights that you're going to share, I would like to share more about you, Venkatesh, before we start.
Sure. I'm Venkatesh. I'm the founder of Impelox Tech Private Limited. And we started our company 3 years ago. And we actually simplify GenAI journey for startups and enterprises and help them building AI SaaS applications. So that's what we do.
Nice knowing you, Venkatesh. So can you share the story behind the founding of your company, Impelox Tech Private Limited, and what solution does it offer actually?
Sure. Interesting. So before starting the company Impelox, I used to be a CTO of another startup. It's an edtech based startup, and I'm always a person who love to create great solutions for problems and interested in building new things. So I have attempted to start up multiple times. So an interesting story I've always told to my employees and people whom I meet is the company Impelox. I mean, the domain name Impelox, I registered in 2009 or 10, right? So such a long period for me to, I waited to start up. Basically, I wanted to start up multiple times, and due to some reasons, I couldn't start a lot of ideas that were relevant at that point of time. Then I didn't go out well, but finally I wanted to start up. I had some ideas, and that's how the company Blocks founded. So when we started, we had a vision to use contextual intelligence. So we wanted to build applications. We wanted to solve customers' problems around contextual intelligence, and software as a service. So how can we leverage contextual intelligence AI and incorporate that into SaaS applications is what our vision was. So that's how it all started.
So what is Contextual Intelligence Solution, and what inspired you to focus on Contextual Intelligence Solution, Venkatesh?
Okay, to start with, I'm a Marvel fan. I'm sure that you must have seen Marvel movies. So I'm a Tony Stark fan, and you must have seen about Jarvis. So it all started there. Back in, I think it was around 2007-8. At that time, the movie came, and people are so inspired about how Jarvis could be a personal assistant, and it can do a lot of stuff for you. So contextual intelligence is, very similar to have like a Jarvis next to you, right? So it understands uh, about you. It's more personalized. So after years of building a lot of applications, a lot of platforms, I always felt that the apps or the platforms what we built are not intelligent, right? So I always ponder upon how can I make these apps intelligent, right? Why these apps are very dumb. I mean, when I say dumb, it's like it's all pre-written, right? So somebody have written the code, and it just works like how the business analysts have written the requirements. So I always feel that, okay, why the apps are not personalized to me? Why these are not talking to me? Why there are no intelligence? Why it doesn't understand me? Like if I walk into a showroom, a salesperson understands me much better. But if I go to a website or an app, it doesn't understand me as much as I expect it to be. So that is the starting point for me to look into, okay, what is contextual intelligence, and how can I leverage this, and how can I build systems and platforms around this. So that is what it is.
Got it. Okay. So how does contextual intelligence impacts and add value to your business today? Venkatesh, if I may ask you?
Right. So, see, contextual intelligence. Think about, say, for example, you have a Zomato or any food delivery app, right? So you open the app. I mean, this story I've been telling to all my potential hires and also to customers. So imagine one fine evening and it's raining outside, and you open your Zomato or Swiggy or whatever the food delivery app you use, and it suggests you some samosa, right? For example, so it understands that the outside it's raining, the weather will be chill, and it'll be good for you to have some hot snack in the evening. Like it understands the time, it's 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, right? So it understands that, and it suggests you some product, some food item which
Hmm.
you would love. So this is a simple example of a contextual intelligence. So I'm sure that Swiggy or Zomato and every other food delivery app have incorporated this. But this is what an example of a contextual. So basically, there are multiple senses, right? So whether time of the month, seasonal changes. So there could be, this is I'm talking about B2C, in a business, to customer. There's also in B2B, there are other factors that could affect the context. So when I say context, there are multiple signals that are coming in, and based on each signal, our system should be able to react or reflect to it. So that is contextual intelligence. And I want to tell about one platform currently we are building in. It's called Next Action. So what it does is, let's say we have a process. I mean, we have worked in software companies, right? And there are project management boards like Jira or any other boards that are available. But imagine it understands your history, like what has happened in this project, how things have went in the project by understanding the history, and it also see what is happening in the project currently, like how developers and testers are moving the tickets around it, and it understands the current trend, and also you have targets and your compliances and everything under one board. And imagine uh, you open the app and it gives you next action, what exactly you need to do today. All right. Not only for a project manager, but for anyone. It could be a project manager, it could be for a business analyst, even if it could be for a developer. If some things are blocked or some things are not going in the way it has to go, like say you have a target you have to complete in a week, but the AI understands that, okay, uh, it won't go in this way because things are not happening right. And imagine if it gives the next action that you need to do to achieve your target. So this is something that we are doing as part of next action, and this is not only for project management, this can be extended for any domain.
Mhm.
Basically how we do it is we leverage data. We ingest a lot of data into the platform, and we also train the context, and based on the context and the data what it has been fed, and also the when I say data, I'm talking about the historical data and also the current data. So it could be as simple as uploading Excel files, right? And also it could be pushing a lot of data through APIs and other ETL mechanisms. So basically, understand the history and see what's happening currently, and suggest the next best action. So this is something that we are using. We are building as a platform, and we are leveraging contextual intelligence.
Understood. So, as you rightly said, like you are ingesting data into this platform. So, a platform like this requires data to be exposed, and this data needs to be curated, cleansed, modeled, and trained to give optimal results, right? So, how do you build your LLMs? Are you leveraging open source large language models, or are you building your own LLMs actually, Venkat?
Okay, sure. LLMs are one part of it. So we do apply ML models, we do apply deep learning models, and towards the end, we are also using LLMs, right? So as far as LLMs are concerned, we are using both open LLMs and also closed LLMs. So open as in your Llama 3 and Mistral, and we also do support OpenAI, the closed one like OpenAI, Gemini, and like every other day there is an LLM, man. So
Right.
so there is no enough LLMs that the world has created. But what I would like to focus is like say we are not just using the existing LLMs, so we are also building our small LLMs. So domain specific small LLMs is what it could be a combination of fine tuning. So sometimes we fine tune based on the requirement, and we build a small LLMs that could solve one problem what we are trying to solve. So combination of that.
Got it. Okay. And can you give me an example of how your platform has transformed your customer journey or operation, Venkatesh?
Okay. Sure. So, one example would be for say, a digital marketing agency. So they came up with a problem statement where they wanted to engage with their leads personally on a scale, right? Obviously, like a human can engage with their leads personally by sending emails and everything, but they wanted to do it at scale. So that is the key point. So what we came up with, like we created custom workflows that using OpenAI, obviously, and it basically had a two-way communication with the lead, either through email or SMS, and we created a multi-agent system where each agent has a different goal, and that agent will have only one goal. And say, for example, imagine if the uh, end goal of this multi-agent system is to book an appointment, right? Say for a clinic. So we help the agency to create a multi-agent system where each agent will be given its own goal, and the chatbot, the agent would talk to the leads personally, and it will derive to that particular goal, and then it will transfer to the next agent. So in this way, there are multi agents that are working together to have a final goal. The final goal is, say, to book an appointment, right? We help them how we help them is we made them to expand their wings. They were able to reach to a lot of leads. Otherwise, it was not possible. So,
Got it. Okay. So let's shift our focus to cybersecurity. So when a
okay.
platform like this is exposed and ingested with a large volume of data, how do you ensure
Mhm.
data privacy and security in your platform, Venkatesh?
Right. So data security, cyber security is a big threat. I understand that. So what we do is whenever the data is coming, say if it's an API, we make sure that the data is encrypted at rest. And even when we are storing the data will be encrypted at rest and transit. So the data is actually encrypted both at rest and transit. And we also have in our cloud, we also make sure that we have appropriate firewalls, and we also have necessary monitoring tools. Say in case of AWS, we have monitoring tools such as Guard Duty and Inspector, and we also have enabled web application firewalls, what we call it as a WAF. Um, and also for some of the customers, we try to implement SOC 2 and ISO 27001 compliance. So overall, we try to make sure that the data is safe, and also it prevents hacking and other mechanisms.
Got it. So following up of this cybersecurity question, I have one more question for you in terms of challenge. So what challenges did you face when you develop or when you started developing this platform and while you were integrating this platform with AI algorithms? So how did you overcome these challenges, Venkatesh?
Well, I think there are a lot of problems what we faced. So one would be data consolidation. So when I say data consolidation, in a lot of businesses, data is fragmented in multiple places, in multiple formats. So consolidating the data, and in a lot of independent teams would be there, and those teams would not even talk to each other, or not sharing the same kind of data. So consolidation of the data, and see what is the business objective and what we are trying to solve. That was one of the major challenge, and we often write custom parsers to parse multiple data from different data sources and do it. And the other problem was integration with third-party APIs. So a lot of third-party APIs are there, but we also started leveraging platforms such as Zapier. They have integrated with a lot of third-party APIs themselves. So it's easy to use a workflow platform like Zapier when they have integration themselves. So we started leveraging that.
So, Venkatesh, how do you see the future of the contextual intelligence evolving in the next couple of years?
Yeah, so it's so interesting to see the AI evolvement in the last recent couple of years, right? So I'm sure that OpenAI, when they started the research, I think back in 2016 or 2017, a lot of companies wouldn't have expected that they would have launched such a good product. But after that, so many startups have come, and they have also contributed to Gen AI, and now the business landscape is very different. So in the future, I think, see, now that we have a lot of these LLMs available, the future should be more on edge devices. When I say edge devices, it could be your IoT bands that you wear, wearables, what you have on your arms, and I'm also talking about mobile devices, or even some tiny devices like I think there's Rabbit, or and so many devices. So the key is, how can we run LLMs on edge devices without the need to connect to servers, and also these LLMs should be small enough, where this will not only it reduces the latency. Obviously, currently there is a latency when you make a call to the LLM on a server, and then you have to get the response back, and then you have to convert that into voice, and you have to talk. So there is some latency. But imagine where there are tiny LLMs. Say that there are some IoT devices that needs to constantly send data. Imagine if it can use a small LLM by itself, and that is local to that device, and that will be, I think, the key features that we should be expecting in the near future. AI running on edge devices, and tiny LLMs. So when I say tiny LLMs, I mean very specific, domain specific, or a business problem specific LLM. So currently the large language models are really large models, where it has been trained with so much of data that's available on the internet. But not every edge devices may need such a large language model to take decisions, or to perform any action. But I'm envisioning where there could be some a tiny LLM, a small LLM that is specifically built for one purpose or two purpose, and that should run locally on the devices. That devices should be able to take decisions, and perform actions on its own. So that is where I feel there's going to be a future, and I also see that. There's going to be a lot of decision making apps, or decision making platforms that are available for both the B2B customers and also B2C customers, right? So that should be available at disposal. Like a lot of decision making tools, like what I told about next action, what we are building. So something like that should be available for everyone at disposal. So that is what I'm looking at. So decision making will be more simpler in the near future. When you have too many things to contemplate, when you have so many items on your plate, I think decision making will be very easy in the near future, is what I'm thinking.
Got it. So while I was asking you the question of the evolution of this technology for the next couple of years, you gave us a good use case in terms of running LLMs in the edge. So that's something which is very interesting. So one last question
Yes.
that I have for you is, uh, so before we conclude this episode, how do you keep your platform and solution competitive in such a rapidly evolving industry?
Right. I think I'm a person, I love to learn. Right. I also make sure that my team is following that. So uh, one thing is like we never stop learning, and I spend a lot of time after the work researching and reading a lot of books, articles, and I encourage the same to my team as well. And we also have R&D team that constantly working on what's trending, what's update on the market, and we never shy away from performing new things. So there are you must have seen companies where when something is working, they would not touch. Oh, this code is working. Like let's not go and touch this, right? So, but where we are like, okay, let's break it, right? Or let's break and see how things will work. So we are always in the constant urge to learn and try new things. So we also attend a lot of conferences and events. So one such event is well, like it happened last Friday. So current day is Friday. So last Friday in Bangalore, I attended Tech Leaders Conclave arranged by Your Story, and I happened to meet a lot of CTOs from the country, a lot of tech leaders across startups and other enterprise companies. Surprisingly, the discussion was more about AI. Every AI and Gen AI, every CTO, every tech leader who came, they were talking about that. Very interesting topic would be, I mean, they didn't talk about how Gen AI is going to displace jobs, but more interestingly, how Gen AI is being used in their applications. Some examples would be, I had to ask a question to CTO of Zepto. Right, so I asked him how AI is being leveraged in Zepto, how their dark stores are being organized using AI, and how they're leveraging AI to prioritize the customer requests and everything. So he was explaining about that, and I also spoke to MD of Couchbase India, and he talked about like small LLMs. So how small LLMs can be used, and he was explaining about Couchbase architecture and how that could be helpful on building, small LLMs on mobile devices. I also happened to hear from PhonePe's CTO Rahul Chari, and also the ex-chief architect of India Stack, Pramod Verma. So they're all talking about AI, Gen AI, and how things are going to impact us, but impact in a good way, right? Not in a bad way. So Pramod Verma, interestingly, he said you have to think long. You don't have to think short on very small problems. So you have to think long. So I agree to him, and that is also what we are trying to see. Like, let's look at what is the long-term solutions and not very small term, and how we can leverage AI and how it can impact our everyday life, personally and also in the business.
Interesting to know. Interesting to know, Venkat. So, Venkat, thank you so much for taking time to share your insights and for the engaging conversation. And I wish you all the best and I look forward to connecting with you in another episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ram. I think it has been a wonderful discussion for me as well. Obviously, we work on this every day, but it's also good to contribute and hear feedback and to be part of the ecosystem. That's really good. Thank you for the
Absolutely.
opportunity.
Absolutely.
We
Thank
are
you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.
bye. Take care.